Well, hello today, my fine young viewers. Today we have this beautiful General Electric Deluxe 7 transistor. That's why I chose this one today, because it says Deluxe. And as far as I know, every time I've disassembled a General Electric product from this era, it wasn't so deluxe. So we're going to check this deluxe model out. It actually had a leather case on it, and this is the leather case. But as you touch it, it just kind of falls apart. So this is no longer, I don't know what you would call that now, besides trash. Anyway, it looks like it had some gold paint, maybe some white paint on it at one time, and it's all fading off for some reason. No cracks in the cabinet though, it's very surprising. It has a rusty screw at the bottom where the batteries would probably be, so that's usually not a good sign, but we're going to find out. Usually I wouldn't do that to avoid nicks in the plastic, but it looks like that's been opened about 1,000,000 times. Well, there's a 9-volt battery connector. Ooh, look. Yellow electrical tape. Looks like somebody had de-virginized this thing. I see some goo in there, or schmutz, spooge, whatever you want to call it, and this little retainer, or not retainer, but it's like a enhancer for the tightness of the knob, and that's pretty crusty and rusty, so it looks like something had leaked in there, but not too bad. Even over here we got some, but it's not too bad. It's got the very old transistors in there. Ooh, ooh, nice, maybe it is deluxe. Look at that ferrite bar antenna. It's got the big old banana slicer. Oh. What do you think, guys and girls? What do you think? You think that's deluxe? Do you think so? I don't know. I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. I guess we could put a battery in it and see if it works. Let me see. Let me grab a battery here. I saw, oh, here's an Energizer Ultimate Lithium battery we're going to try to put in this. I bet you this is never seen an Ultimate Lithium. Oh, look at that. We got some clicking. Anybody ever watch The Honeymooners? Years ago when Ralph paid $100 for the guy to get the clicking out of the phone. There you go. We got clicking on the radio. Oh, look, the wire came. Already a wire had come off. Look at that. That was quick. Looks like we're going to have to peel this back now. That was really fast. I have tons of these battery connectors anyway, so if we have to replace it, and we're going to replace it, not a big deal. But for now, we're going to just peel it back. Look at that. Of course, it's this one here. I guess we can put it back on here. I got to grab a soldering iron here. Solder that wire back on. Ain't that nice? That was quick, huh? That was nice and quick. That's good enough. Let's see. Put that wire back on. Just so we could do some testing. There you go. We got a nice little lump. This is kind of rusty in here, so I don't know how well that's going to solder, but we're going to find out. It's got one little spot that allowed solder to stick. Well, I guess that's all we really need, is that one little spot. It's all we need. Look at that. Sticking like a true champion. Alright. That's good, good, good. Alright, so what were we doing here? We were trying to see if it worked. We got some clicking. But nothing. We got nothing and a lot of clicking. Alright, so Let's take a quick look here. It doesn't really look like, besides the battery, man, it definitely leaked. Even the speaker's got some corrosion on it. I guess we can undo the circuit board. What size do you think those little hex nuts? You think this is right? 3/16? Oh yeah, look at that. It is. It's 3/16. Let's pull these little 3/16 screws out of there. You know, this one, this General Electric, oddly enough, doesn't seem like the worst I've ever seen. I've definitely seen worse than this one. Definitely seen worse. You know, usually GEs are built to a price and they don't, they skimp wherever they can. We're going to find out in a second. Okay, we don't have to take those off, but we have to take that one off. I don't want to pull the wrong screw out and then have to do a dial cord. You know, I don't want to do that. Here's one. Ooh, that knob is going to need to come off. There's this. Well, maybe I can get it off. Let's. It looks like it. Oh yeah, there you go. It's starting. I got it moving. All right. Looks like we got a little corrosion on that, even on the screw underneath it, but it came off, so we're fine. We're fine. Let's grab the long nose. These Exolite, I've got a load of these. I've had a lot of these from many years ago, and I helped a guy empty his XTV repair shop, and he gave me a lot more of these Exolite tools. And I gotta say, you know, those were like the main staple years ago, and they're pretty good. I like the Exolite stuff. I did notice, like, I think Vaco, like this is a Vaco. This is one of the things that he had given me. He gave me the set. Let me show you the setting. He gave me this set right here, and it's made in USA still. I was told that they started making these tools in China, but I don't know if. What about these? I don't know. Do they even? You know, they don't say on them, but ESD safe. It doesn't say anything, which is usually not a good sign. I know companies were usually proud when they were made. We have to remember that the short screw was. Companies are usually proud when they had things made in America. So if it's not printed on there, it's probably not. This screw, I hate to take the wrong screw out and mess everything up. Well, that sure did make it loose, but we got to be careful here. I don't want to. So there's what's going on down there? If we take this off, there is a dial cord in there, right? Or is it? I don't know. I don't know if it's a dial cord or not. What am I missing? What am I missing here? Not the other two of the antenna. I think that's. Ooh, what just fell? Oh, a little piece of caulk. All the little pieces of caulk are falling out because. Okay, this was over here. This was right here. Yeah, that was right there. I'm not sure what that does, but that's where it was, so we're going to put that back. You know, this is actually enough. And that leaves the tuning capacitor in place, so I don't have to worry. Just get a good close shot of these wires, so when they start coming off, I know where to put them back. Alright. Ooh, look at those beautiful capacitors in there. There's like little bugs and stuff falling out of there. There's another one of those little I sure wish I would have paid attention where they were falling out of, but I guess if they really need to be in place, we'll figure out where they go. Not much to this radio. Let's see. It's got a couple of caps in there, and a couple of transistors. What's kind of worrying me is this IF can has got corrosion from a leaky battery, and I have a feeling that that's going to be a problem. Well, even this little transistor has some corrosion. Let's do a quick check. Just look at this! What came out of there? My gosh! Let's do a quick check with to see if that transistor is okay. If that transistor is okay, I guess what we could do is see if the IF is working. Oop, let's get this off of here. We can follow the signal path with a signal tracer. That's usually the way these are done. But this, I don't know, that transistor doesn't okay. Looks like it's an NPN. And it checks good, so I guess we're going to leave that one alone. Oh, could you see that? Could you see let's put the meter in there. So, again, we figured out that this right pin here is base. So I don't know which is going to be collector or emitter, I'm not sure, but I know one is base. Okay, let's see. Yeah. This one has a little resistance on there, but it's probably because it's in the circuit. Alright, well that transistor checks good, so I guess what we could do is, let's see, let's use the, let's make sure well, we're not going to really see much in there. I don't know, there's like some kind of spooge or something in there. I'm not sure what that is. Alright, let's see. Let's get some power back to it. Let's see. Make sure that we got the volume up. Let's spray a little cleaner in that control, just for grins. That's probably enough. Alright, let's turn on the signal tracer here. We got like 50 signal tracers, and they're all junk. They all need to be fixed or repaired in some way. I got about 100 of these probes, and I've got not one really good one, so I've just been messing around with all these probes. Alright. Let's try just go to the volume control. What? We know the speaker is good because it makes a noise, so we can go to the first IF. I think black and white? I think black and white are the first, and second IF in red. I can't see them. I think they're all black in this radio anyway. Well, let's try this transistor first. Oh yeah, listen. Can you hear that? It's very low. It's very low, but I can hear something. I don't know if you can hear that or not. There, listen to that. And that's coming off that So we know we got signal coming. I had a feeling it has something to do with the corrosion, but see that. So there's where's that other IF can? There it is right there. The signal, that's from the other IF can right there. And then it goes into this. There's the diode. So, can you see what I'm doing here? So I could, it's not very loud though, but I don't know how good these probes and stuff are. So I have a feeling, as long as we hear something, we're going to accept that as okay. For now, anyway. So interestingly, the one IF is coming out to this transistor, and then it goes into the second can. And then there's nothing coming out of this can. So that's not a good thing. So I guess what we could do, let's take the battery off this. We're going to pull this can out and inspect the inside of it and see. Let's see if we can see anything bad going on in there. Let's put a little extra solder on these pins just so. I'm going to use the old sucker to get it out. Let's see if I can figure out which pins they are. I think, okay. Okie dokie. Okay. I think this is the case, the metal can. I'm going to try not to destroy it. Sometimes you pull these out and you can destroy them. It's just as easy. Just as easy. Oops, oops. We may have to clean this tip out. That's not going to be... No, it's going, it's going. It usually works a bit better than this. Come on. Did it get it? I can't see. I think so. Oops. You always want to be careful with these circuit boards because, you know... Oh, there it goes. Okay. Let's get this. This tip may be a little too small for this one. We may have to use just a little bit of solder or yeah, solder wick, and I don't know where the. I have to grab another one. I think I used up the first one. Oops, sorry about that. I used up the first one, and the one that we had out here. Oh, you know, let's see. That one looks disconnected. That one does, but not this one so much. You know, we're going to do something wrong and wind up yanking the pins out of this thing, and I don't want to do that. Let's see. They're not very easy. All right. You know what? Hang on a second. I'm going to pause it while I grab another roll of solder wick, and I'll be right back. All right, so we're back. I unsoldered this coil. Then when I checked the input and the output, they both had resistance, and I'm not sure. It didn't have resistance, at least, or maybe just the contacts were dirty. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I put it back, and it still doesn't work. So, but it's got to be something in this area, because we've got sound coming in. Well, we got a signal coming in. So. Let's try that again here. If we got a signal coming in, I may have turned the tuning capacitor up. Oh, hold on. Alright, I can hear something in there. I know it's very low. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but ooh, I got a little buzz from that one. That's weird. So I can hear the radio station. Did I solder that? Ooh, you know what? I need to solder the one lead back. I didn't solder it good. So let's get that done first. I missed one here. Now I got it? Yeah, okay. Now I got it. Let's try it again. I need this to be just a little bit longer. So we got, I could hear it right there, nothing right there. You can hear it a little bit. It's kind of hard to... Alright, hold on a second. There's a capacitor right there, and let me turn this off here, hold on. Alright. There's a capacitor right there. Let's try to unsolder. Let's see. You know what? Hold on a second. I know these old square type resistors like to change value too, so I'd like to change that capacitor to 65. You know what though? It looks like there's 3 leads on that. Is that another one of those dual? I've never seen those before, and now this is the second radio, like almost in a row, that I've worked on one that had that kind of capacitor that had 3 leads. interestingly enough. Alright, let's go ahead and take the battery off. Let's go ahead and unsolder this capacitor. And then we'll get the... We'll go ahead and replace it if we... Alright, there's one. I think there's 3 leads on it. It looks like it. There's 2. There's not much solder on these. And I know these pads really suck. Hold on, let's see. Oh, come on. Come on. Yep, see there's 3 leads on that capacitor. I gotta just remember which way I took it out. So, negative and 65 go to those 2. And then so in this side it's kind of got some stuff on there, but it's 70 microfarad and 65 microfarad, and this is negative. Yeah, and if you look right at that, you can see right here there's it looks like that the lead is breached a little bit, and there's some liquid coming out of it right there in that corner. So whether this is bad or not, it needs to be replaced. So let me go and grab whatever's closest to 70 that I have and whatever's closest to 65. Let's see. Give me a second, then I'll be right back with the caps. So we are back. We got 268 ohm. 68 microfarad. Sorry, 25 volts. And we're going to connect the negatives together. Hopefully it'll fit in the spot there. It should. We'll leave a little bit of slack there so we can move it around just in case, because this may be maybe a little bit larger than what's coming out of there. I don't know what happened to my thinner roll of solder. It's laying here somewhere, but I'll have to find that in a minute or so. As soon as I get tired of this garbage. Alright, that should be fine. So we need to leave that one alone. We're going to chop that off. So this is going to be the neg, and this is going to be, doesn't matter because now they're both the same. Now I forget which one was the minus. But I guess hopefully it's connected directly to the negative of the battery, so it should be easy enough to figure out. The other 2 aren't going to matter. Not that one. Stay there, stay there. Not that one. So that one there is negative. This one here is going to be the neg. So it's get out of there now. It's this one. It's going to go that way. So we got to get that in there like this. That. And that's going to be negative, right? Yeah, that's negative. Alright. I hate putting these modern capacitors in these old radios. Just, you know, I mean, it's bad, but I'm not 100% sure if that's bad. I guess we could put it on the, Sencor to see if it's bad or not, but it has got a little bit of stuff leaking out of that one pin. So Hopefully that'll just make it work. We're going to find out in a minute. Come on. There you go. There you go. There you go. Hopefully that's not going to be... Yeah, it should be fine. It should be fine. Think it's going to work? Let's take bets. You think that's going to make it work? You think it made it work? Here goes nothing. Nothing. What in the heck? I would have thought for sure. I guess I could always put that other one back in, but we're probably not going to do that. Alright, so the only other thing, let's see, going into that, so here's the coil, is this resistor here. So it's violet, what is it, yellow, violet, and brown is what? Yellow is 4, violet is 7, and brown is times 100, right? So 40, is it 4? No, is it times, no, it's times 10. Brown is times 10. You know why? What's going on with me today? It's times 10. Brown, yeah, brown is times 10. So yellow is 4, violet is 7, so it should be 470 ohms. So it should be 470 ohms. And it reads 2.748 meg. So what happens if we short it? Let's try to short it. Can you hear that? I think that's it. We're going to get a 470 in there, but... Well, let's grab a 470 and put it in there. Hang on a second. I think we should have some right here up on the thing here. A 470. 470K. Let's see, I've got to move this over here for a second. We got our thing of resistors right there. So let's see, 470 is 220. 470 is in this last thing right here. Alright, let's see what we got here. So it's yellow, violet. Right here, we got a whole bag of 470s. These resistors are extremely old. So, but that's what we got. We got them. They're old. Let's pull the battery off. Let's get that out of there. Hopefully it'll just fall right out. Come on. The tip on the soldering iron is bad. And I know I keep saying it, but it needs to go. She needs to go. She really needs to go. What happened there? Look, a little line of solder came out of there. And it stayed. That's interesting. It kind of stayed. You know it's going to wind up being a problem. So we need to get it. How was it? It was this way, right? Alright, let's see. We need to get it like this. Look at that modern looking resistor going in this old radio. Very ugly. Come on. There you go. We need to just kind of get it loose in the hole so I can push it all the way in. There you go. There you go. There you go. Get in there. Get in there. Alright, let's solder it. Let's do the old soldering of the There's one. There's two. What do you think, fellas? What do you think, ladies? You think it worked? Let's see if that did it. I hate being on the old parts cannon, but... Alright, let's see. Get out of there. Now we got nothing at all. How could that be? Oh no, there it is. Well, we got more than we did. We have more than we did. We still don't have any tuning, but why does it keep stopping when that goes? Is it touching something? Maybe there's like all kinds of corrosion in there. I think Alright, well, so let's see, did any wires come off? No. Let's grab a little screwdriver here. Did I make? It's a little messy right here. Did I put I hope I put those capacitors in right. Well, we're getting closer anyway. Oh, my back is killing me here. It's killing me. Alright, so. Oop. I guess I could, I just hope I got the capacitor in there correctly. That's the volume control. Sounds. The IF sounds like it's working now. I guess we could check some other. Just like it's all corroded in here on this green corrosion. I don't know if you can see that or not. That speaker's not sounding too good either. Probably should change that other capacitor right there. I hate when you're working on radios that have these corrosion issues, because you just don't know. You know, you just don't know, and that could sometimes be a problem. Alright, so I'm going to do a little poking around and then I will be back. So, I was checking, this is the coil that we were messing with before, and it did get some corrosion, but I don't know if it got on the inside or not, but this, this side was intermittent. So I took it out, and the little wire, see, I soldered that little, I don't know if you can see it or not, the little tiny corner. Let me widen this a little bit. This camera doesn't do too well when you zoom in. Right in there, I was able to get a little bit of solder on there and get that little tiny wire back on. Hopefully that will move that a little forward there. The one lead that's missing that's the way it was made. There's only 2 connections on the one side. So now it looks good. So hopefully the little cap in the middle, I don't think it's bad. I don't really have a way to test it though, but I don't even know what it's supposed to be. And if it's in the circuit, it's probably across a coil. Come on, let's see. What is it going to read? Does it have a reading? No. Yeah, I don't know. I hope it is. It doesn't look... Oh, there it goes. Okay, so 0.40 nanofarads. It's probably good. Anyway, let's try to just get that. I can't believe I was able to get that wire back on, but so a little bit, you can see there was a little bit of that corrosion that did get in there, whatever that, I guess from the battery, the leaking battery. I'm afraid to touch any more in there because you could see it on there too. You could see right in the core, it just must have wicked up the, I don't know if you can see it or not, it wicked up the leads. And it got in there, see. But either way, it looks like I did get it back. So these were like that, and I think, let me see how this was in there. It's only going to go in one way, obviously. So the two, okay, so this tab on the case has to go this way on the back. Let's put the cap back on and we'll test it again, make sure I didn't cause any more issues. Let's see. I'm not sure here, let's see. So there's a little, it came apart and it came out. It was a little difficult to get it out. I finally changed the tip on the soldering iron. Although I'm going to get a whole new soldering station and everything in there. In here, it's no. Oh, we're still on. We got to go back to ohms. Alright, that side's good. Yeah, looks like it. Looks like it's good. Alright, well that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and get it back in there, and when I get it back in we'll give it a try, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we got the coil back in, and we found another problem, and we were able to fix it, but I didn't record it, but I'm going to show it to you right now. And I have to use this little tiny jeweler screwdriver because it's that small, and I didn't think I'd be able to do it, but if you look at this coil right here, this wire sticking up, this coil had a break in it, and I was able to peel one turn back and re-solder the wire to the other side, which I was able to find. And that made it work.
People would say, probably not. Line is specific to our church.
Wish there was something good to listen to on there.
And I think, and suddenly you have a machine.
I'm not sure if removing one wind of that's going to make a difference or not. If that coil needs to be readjusted. But you know, I have to do it with a non-metallic tool. Amazing, huh? Anyway, let me make it lower. These capacitors, that resistor, this coil had an open in it, and so did the oscillator coil. I'm very surprised I was able to get that soldered back. Let's see if yeah, very surprised I was able to get that soldered back, but I was. And let's put it back together, maybe, and play with it for a second. See, I may have damaged the capacitor right there, but I'm just going to leave it alone. A little disc capacitor. It looks like a 0.01. It's probably still okay, though. There are two other caps in there, these two right there, that probably should be replaced. But I'm not going to use this radio for anything. Yeah, let's set the camera up here. I gotta say that this one took me a little while, and I used the 6.0 plus reading glasses, and I could actually see a little tiny gold sparkle right there. And you know, just crazy. But and that was it. That was the issue with this. The speaker may not be too good. I'm going to try to, let's see, hold on a second. It sounds, has a slight bit of distortion to it. I'm going to connect this speaker to it and see if that distortion goes away. And if it does, we know that it's the speaker, or if it doesn't, we know there's another problem. Come on. Why'd they wrap the wire around a million times? I don't know. I don't know. Alright. Let's see. Sometimes, you know, if you have a bad speaker, it sounds like, if it's a push-pull circuit, it sounds like a bad output transition. And you have a bad speaker like this one. Look how clear it is now.
Poorly coached team, because that'll
So now we know that the speaker is bad and it's not any other components. So, but I could kind of see some corrosion on this, so I had a feeling that we were going to have an issue with the speaker, but I'm not too concerned about that. I was more interested in getting the circuit working, which we did, surprisingly. Very surprising. Let me disconnect the battery for a second. Let's get this speaker wire hooked back up. I think, I'm not sure what the deal is, but I think originally this radio used like a different type of a 9-volt battery or some. I never looked to see what kind of battery it was that it uses, but I saw that this connection, this thing, whatever this is right here, has the other part of a red wire that somebody had cut off. So I can only assume that it was the you know what, this is fine. I can only assume it was the other part of the positive wire from the battery connection. Once we put this together, I guess it doesn't really matter. I was going to say, should we try to do an alignment on it? I don't know. Let's see what it sounds like. Let's put it back together real quick. With a bad speaker, we really need an alignment. Yeah, I can hear the little scratchies in that speaker. Oh well, what are you going to do? I don't know. Okay, it's a 16 ohm. I guess it's not a... You know, it's tough when speakers are bad because a lot of speakers are odd shapes, and sometimes they hold their brackets for other things. And so it's not... hang on a second here. How does this go back in there? She's not being very cooperative. There's a wire or something in the way there. Alright, let's see. That little stanchion there needs to go right there. Okay, there it goes. We'll put a screw or two in there to hold it. What do I do with all the screws that held this? There they are. It was a 3/8, right? Nope. What happened? Are they all the same? I think that one, this was that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I had the fine thread one went here. We just need one screw in there just to play with it. That should be fine for a minute.
Perspective. You probably have heard you're not pretty retrograde, everybody.
Robson has your back. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes and see if you can save with
Which is standing by next.
This is the deluxe 7 transistor.
Facebook and other places. Most astrologers do not focus on the sun's way of looking.
looks like a lot.
You have to respect. Including the bring it out to about the 24-yard line, something like that.
Must be the camera.
Never wanted to be. We all grew up with one cap. Now each team must get.
Anyway, that's it. That's this lovely radio. was actually quite a bit to fix this one. If this belonged to a customer or something, there'd be no way. I mean, who would fix this, right? This had quite a few problems. Oh, and it's all because of leaking batteries. You know, even it sat probably with. I mean, there's still more. I didn't even clean it out, but it sat for a very long time with those chemicals on wherever they were on wires and stuff, and slowly over time it just degrades that copper. So, you know, if the radio means something to you, you gotta not leave batteries in it if you're not going to use it. Those batteries have to come out. Let's see, is that the right? Yeah, it's really long. There were two little short ones. One short one here. In this little hole right here. And then there was another little short one that went right here. Oh, you know what I didn't put back on? Hang on a second. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get it back on now that I did this. I don't think we don't even need it because this had been modified. This used to be a battery terminal, but somebody had modified it. But it has a little hex. See if I'll be able to get in. I'm going to have to loosen the screws that I just tightened. Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. We got nothing better to do than to sit and talk. And aggravate people that like short videos. Yeah, look at that. I got it in. I got it in there after all. There you go. Let's put you back in there. It's nice to watch somebody tighten screws, isn't it? Remember in the old days, I worked for a TV repair shop. I was just a kid, actually. It was a job that I did after high school. And junior, believe it or not, in junior high school. We used to go, I would go do service calls for this shop that was in Brooklyn, New York. It was in Brooklyn, New York. And I used to go on service calls. And here you go. I would show up to someone's house to repair their television, and I think that may have went on the top now. It doesn't look straight. I don't know. Maybe it did go on the top. I don't know. Anyway, I would go to show up at someone's house who had called in an order to have their television repaired, and and the fun, what I think about it now, and I find humor in it, is that no, it had to go on the bottom. What I find humor in it now is that, you know, a little like a 14-year-old kid shows up to your house and says, "I'm going to fix your television," and the thing is nobody ever turned me away. Nobody ever said, "Nope, you're not touching my television." Nobody has ever said that. In the years I've done it, and it was a couple of years, 3, 4, 5 years. So I think about it now, and it seems kind of nuts. Would you let a 14-year-old kid into your house to fix your television? You know, at that time, televisions were worth something too. I remember a lot of Zeniths back then, a lot of RCAs. Let's see if it still works. A lot of RCA sets. It seemed like a lot of people in that area liked to buy the American-made. You didn't see many. A few Sonys. You saw a few Sonys, but lots of Zeniths and RCAs back then. I know out here and out west here, you see a lot of Packard Bells. I guess Packard Bell was made out west here. I don't think maybe in all the years, maybe 1 or 2 Packard Bells. But again, mostly RCAs. Let's give it another shot here and see what it sounds like.
To astrologers, but with was a 6 from all around the planet. Small. Unfortunately, they're incorrect because we have these great people.
Weekly occurrence for this team, but
The church.
exactly people be competent, smart, ready to act. This is a defense now. The EPA. No office visits. No.
Too bad that speaker's crispy, but it is. Anyway, that's it. It works. It works. It's dirty. It's ugly. It needs to be squeezed back together. I think there was a nut in there that I gotta tighten that nut so that knob will go on the right way. Anyway, that's it for the General Electric. Oh, there's what's the model of this thing? Was there a model in there? Let's get the model number before we sign off. Let's see. Yeah, there is a model. It's a model P-15A is antique white, and a P-815A is an antique white in cocoa. So I guess this is I don't know. I guess this is just antique white. I don't see cocoa unless that was cocoa at one time. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. What does it say? I was going to look at the battery. It says battery Everready 226 or Burgess P6M or P6 or Rayovac, Mallory M1600 or approved equivalent. I say, you know, I don't know. Alright, well, anyway. This is from Utica, New York. Made in USA, the General Electric. Alright, anyway, that's it. That's it for the General Electric. We actually got it to work way more than I would have probably usually spent on a radio like that, but that's cool. It's done. It's over. And thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Stay safe and bye-bye.